Hello everyone, and welcome back to Dragon Age Veilguard with Chaos Counseling. Last time we... Okay, I admit, it's been over a week since we streamed Dragon Age, so I don't 100% remember what we did. I think we did Harding's personal side quest and concluded it. And I think it was just other character stuff. So, and I think we're going to probably just doing more of that since, sadly, wait, turn to the hall. But yeah, hey Leaf, how's it going? But yeah, it's probably just going to be more, no, there we go, character stuff and side quests since, that's kind of where we're at right now, as I've had... Oh, right, Tosh, we did that thing. Hello, Muffin. Yes, I am Mr. Dragon Aging. But yeah, it's just going to be more character stuff, I think. But that's okay. The character stuff is usually the best stuff in Dragon Age. Let's see, but yeah. Okay, that's going to be funny if Nev... Okay, it's Nev and Ballara. Yeah, since Nev and Ballara have been two of my highest affection character for most of the game. So, it's kind of funny that they're the lowest right now. But then again, I haven't done a specific quest for them, whereas I've been doing personal quests for all the other characters, so I guess that tracks. Okay, I can't quite level that up.
Come take a look.
Anyway, so how are you guys this morning, afternoon, whatever time of day it is for you guys, wherever you're at? Yeah, me personally, I'm doing good. Had a good night last night. Hung out with some friends. Gonna be hanging out with friends again today. So looking forward to that. Oh, okay.
Storm Riders get really possessive about their hordes.
Okay.
Tracking the scent of
Let's see.
anything that got
I'm
taken.
feeling pretty good. I kind of chatted with my crush. Oh, cute. It's been very close and friendly. That's great to hear.
She's bad. She's real bad. Breathes lightning, like the Vincimer.
The Vincimer was kind of friendly, though.
Cataranda isn't. She is a bad dragon.
Bad dragon. Why does that remind me of something that shouldn't be brought up in any polite conversation? Don't Google that. Okay, hopefully this will open up the caves so I can actually finish this Grey Warden quest thingy-madoodle that's been sitting in my quest for fucking ever. Sorry. Just taking a nice long drink because... So I have to end my stream before 8 o'clock local time because Abby and I are going to attend something today that was kind of last minute. Bad Dragon, why not Google? Just trust me on this one. Just don't Google it. It's you know what? I'll tell you. It's Bad Dragon is an adult shop. I don't actually have a problem with the shop. I don't have a problem with shops like that, but that was kind of the joke. It's not something to talk about in polite conversation.
We thought he was dead. Now he's alive.
Which is good that he's not dead. I mean, it's not, no treasure here.
But yeah,
The wreckage over there.
words. What are the words I'm looking for?
We had a thing. Nope.
What was I saying? But yeah, so hung out with, but we got invited to something kind of last minute, but it sounded fun and haven't really spent time. All right, this time I shall be wiser and not Google it. Yeah, no, yeah, I know, arguably, I probably shouldn't bring it up if I'm like, don't Google it, but at the same time, I'm trying to be facetious. But yeah. But yeah, like I said, I don't actually have a problem with that sort of thing. In fact, I know one of the people who works at that website, and he's a great guy. But, like I said, it's... You know, in hindsight, I kind of regret making that joke because now I'm just like, why did I say that in public? I apologize, everybody. But yeah, I got invited to something kind of last minute by my older brother. That's gonna be at like 10 o'clock local time. So yeah, because I normally stream till about 10, 9:30 or 10 local time. So that's why I'm gonna have to end the stream a bit early. But point I was getting at is I woke up immediately, just kind of set up and started streaming as soon as possible because since I couldn't stream last Saturday, I could only stream on Monday night, and as a result, it was already a shorter stream, so like wanted to get right to it and get in as much as I could. Am I missing something? But I didn't properly like have some breakfast or. So I'm like, hold on, I need to take a drink of my soda because my mouth just has that awful morning taste. I'm sure you guys know what I'm talking about. Okay, I'm going to try something. I saw a... Oh yeah, hurting interaction up here. Yeah, you gotta be careful about the internet when it's out there. It's just... Therefore, somehow, like, Abby telling me about your... Oh, my God. You know, I'd be mad, but at this point, I'd be disappointed if you didn't find a way to slip that into conversation, Muffin.
I'm on it.
Tosh? Sweetie? No, Tosh, Oh, did I just...
You don't seem happy about your brother.
Huh.
Sort of, but also not.
Well, okay, that's not what I thought I was telling Tosh to do, but I'm not going to complain, because
Which is
I
good,
didn't see it before, and now it's like, okay, perfect.
but it's not him. Well,
Okay, how many times do I have to kill this exact same group of Antom in this exact same place? I think someone needs to take away their extra life privileges. They're not the main character. They're not the player character.
I saying? It was easier before.
Yeah, it
The
is.
good things.
So what I do find kind of funny is just the fact that completely, you know, unintentionally, my build for my character this time focuses on necrotic damage and whatnot. And the reason I find that funny is over 10 plus years ago when I was in college, me and my roommates were trying to figure out what we wanted to do. Villains of Extra Lives? Who are they? Frisk? Well, the final boss fight in Tales of Xillia was always one of the more... I mean, it wasn't one of the harder Tales boss fights, in my opinion, but it was one of the more frustrating ones because, one, because you had to fight two villains in one fight, and they both had a ridiculous amount of health. The other problem was that Muse, because you fought against Gaius and Muse. Muse kept fucking healing Gaius, drawing the fight out even longer, and she could auto-revive once. Meaning you had to painstakingly chip her health down, which she could heal herself, by the way. And even after you take... Because, like, she heals Gaius quicker than you can kill her. Or than you can kill him, so you have to... And I mean have to kill Muse first because there's a delay in her own healing or something like that. But yeah, Muse has an extra life and she comes back, I think, with 50% HP. So it's not like she comes back and she's still, you know, it's like, okay, she comes back, but as long as you kill her quick, no, it's... Whew. That being said, the combat in Tales of Xillia is so good. It's not a real complaint. It's more just gamer frustration and how dare thee defy the convention for which the sacred laws have been so carefully crafted or whatever. Oh, speaking of Tales, I'm still trying to decide, sort of. Because my original plan was, so after I was done with this game, it'd be a Tales game. That probably means I should, I was going to go back and stream Mila's side of the game. And I still want to do that. But part of me was also thinking, it's like, oh, but the Tales of Berseria remaster just came out. I'm like, should I do that one because it's more recent? But on the other hand, Abby and I streamed the normal Tales of Berseria already a few years ago, so I don't know if that's worth it. Plus, even then, I'm actually not going to play a Tales game next. I'm going to break from my schedule. Tales, who's your daddy? Shadow. Muffin, I already responded to you on Discord. Shadow's fathers are Black Shadow and Gerald. So Abby shared with me this really funny post on Facebook that's like, pessimist, this glass is half empty. Optimist, this glass is half full. And then it cuts to Sonic being like, water. And, it starts as, the pessimistic versus optimistic. And then it just turns into all these different, Sonic characters' reactions to water. And it's pretty damn funny. But anyway, I am not going to stream a Tales game next, simply due to the fact that, honestly, if I had gotten the game key a little earlier than I did, I actually would have streamed it before this game. But a game that let's see, I saw, but you said Tales, and it sounded like All right, you know what? I'll give you that one, Muffin. I will absolutely give you that one.
This is all of the treasure stolen from Cataranda.
Let's get to the beach where I lured the Vincimer. Plenty of open space for a good fight. And be ready with poisons. Lightning dragons are more sensitive to poison than most.
Cool. But it's a game that I backed on Kickstarter a while. I mean, I don't know. Part of me is like, I should stream every game that I've backed on Kickstarter, but I've not been the best about actually doing that. I mean, hell, there's a game that I backed on Kickstarter that I've yet to actually play. I think it's mostly because, how do I put this? It's a Fire Emblem inspired game, but also mixed with a visual novel, and I was like dying. I mean, I'm still technically dying for good Fire Emblem content, but it wasn't pulling me in. And sorry, when I say I haven't played it, I should say I haven't played it very much. Like, I've played the first couple levels, and it didn't hold my investment. But I think it's also like Dark Deity came out, which was another game I backed that was Fire Emblem inspired, which is, you know, it's pretty good. All things considered, it just didn't do much for me personally. So it's like, I don't have the same. Also, Fire Emblem Engage came out, which, don't get me wrong, the more I sit on it, Fire Emblem Engage is an awful game, by the way. So if you're looking to get into Fire Emblem for the first time, don't play Engage. Just don't play Engage. If you want to have a good game to stream, if you don't want to play more Biomutant. You wanted to play Biomutant. The Discord after you finish Biomutant. I mean, I am always for returning to that game just for funsies, as it's a game I do really like. I just don't know what I would do that would be different enough to warrant the return to it, you know? Because I did on my own time experiment with trying to go halfsies on being good or being bad, and I just couldn't really find any real tangible difference between what actually happened in them, you know? And since I've already done the good path in the light, and even then, so one of the things I tried doing was I killed half the World Eaters but left the other half alive, and then healed half the roots, and then killed half, and then poisoned half the roots. And it seems that just regardless of what I did, the tree always still died at the end. So yeah, as much as I love Biomutant, like, I love Biomutant, I just don't know if I can justify playing it again. The only thing that I could think of maybe doing to justify another playthrough of Biomutant is if I streamed Biomutant as Edgelord, which, if you guys remember, while Biomutant is the game that spawned Edgelord, I didn't actually stream it as Edgelord. But I'm like, okay, I feel like the only reason I'd actually do that as Edgelord is, like, maybe if I, for whatever reason, was wrapping up the Edgelord stream series, and that was meant to be, like, their way of, kind of earning release from their immortalities. It's like they're being sent back in time to correct the mistake that got them cursed with immortality in the first place, you know? Stag the dragon up its ass. So, yeah, I have actually thought about streaming Biomutant again as Edgelord, but I'm not ready to end Edgelord by any stretch of the imagination, especially since I'm thoroughly enjoying, like, making my Edgelord comic, even if I don't have enough. I can't dedicate as much time to it as I'd like. So
Good fight! Good fight! We just took down Deathstorm the Storm Rider. We are drinking for free tonight.
And look, there's treasure caught in her scales.
Yep.
yeah, that was kind of what I was thinking, but
I think maybe
by the same token, since I don't really plan on streaming, ending Edgelord for a while, it's like, yeah, it'd be a nice full circle thing, but everyone's going to be waiting for a long, long time before we ever got there, you know? Oh, that's kind of lame. Nope, I'm sticking with the sword I got. Okay, no, it didn't look like it opened up more for... It doesn't look like I can explore that cave yet. Bummer. Alrighty. Quests. Still can't do that one. Okay, we're gonna do Daffrin's quest. So, I've kind of run into a bit of a difficult a situation I'm not... You know, I'd love to hear your guys' opinion on. So, a question that we get asked somewhat regularly, and I say somewhat, I mean we get asked it at least once a year. And I want to be clear, I'm not upset that I get asked this question, because the reality of the... Wait a second. No. I don't need to talk to you, because not everyone takes in every single thing that we do here on the channel. But specifically, I get people asking, it's like, hey, when is words? It's people asking about Jesse and Flays. And it's like, when are they coming back to the channel? And it's like, they're not. Let's see, yeah. It's your character. If you still have fun playing as Edgelord on stream, you should continue. You should also want when you feel. Thank you very much. But normally I kind of feel that when I tell people that they're not coming back, that's kind of the end of it. And I mean, yes, Flays occasionally stops in for a cameo stream, but those are like maybe once or twice a year at most. But again, most people, when I tell them they're not coming back, are like, oh, it's a shame, but move on. But the other day got a comment asking about them on Abby's last live stream, and they're like, when are they coming back? And I just said they're not. And the person, rather than just kind of accepting it, moving on, you know, was like, why? So I'm like, okay, what's the best way to tactfully handle this situation? Because on the one hand, I don't want to be a dick and just be like, just my answer is final or whatever, so shut up. But on the other hand, it's like, will Jesse and Flays not coming back to the channel is their own business. And despite the fact that Flays is still actively streaming online, she does kind of want to keep a lot about herself private, if you know what I mean. So it's like, obviously, I'm not going to be giving any details as to the hows and about the why, you know, Jesse and Flays aren't coming back, but I'm also like, what's the best way to tackle this? I admit, I'm like, I'm not really sure. And honestly, so if none of you guys stream, or if none of you really have dealt with online presence, you guys might not know either. It's like, I want to be kind, but I'm also like, I mean, because I appreciate all of you, and the fact that they're invested in Abby, like the sisters therapy that Abby and them used to do back in the day, I think is awesome. But I don't know.
Hassan can get the gate.
Oh, sorry,
Another
getting
truffle
comfy.
hunt?
Oh, damn it! Hold on.
We're meeting Eldred, the old elf I told you about. I spent summers here. Tended Hollow when I was a kid.
Hard to imagine.
Sorry, I
I'd
dropped.
seen
I was
Hunter hang around
adjusting, and I dropped a lot of, and I dropped stuff.
Eldred told me that. He was like an uncle to me.
Okie dokie. You know, excuse me. I don't mind. I've got mixed feelings about
Hassan, hang back.
About kind of how this game works with its exploration, that it's like, just say they can't. If they can't, or just say they... That's true. Yeah, you're right. I could just say they've moved on with their lives and just leave it at that. Now, on the one hand, I do kind of appreciate it. I guess what I'm saying is that I really hate that I can clearly see, like, chests and whatnot on the map behind areas I can't access, and it just drives me nuts every time I come back to an area. I'm like, I still can't access it. But I also can't appreciate the fact that it's like, okay, do the side quest with your friends, the world opens up more. Plus, it is arguably better doing it this way than just having a ridiculously big world to explore that's not always
I got your message.
that doesn't always have stuff in it like Inquisition.
It's me, Davrin.
I knew a Davrin once. Strange kid, too small, even for an elf.
What the?
Well, now, hold on.
So, this walking mountain of armor I see before me can't be hidden.
What
You
the?
sure got old and cranky.
You got old and far too good looking. I was always the lady killer.
This is Rook. We're working together.
Another war.
I'm not a streamer, so I don't
Can
genuinely
you be
know how it
trusted
feels to be
around
on the other
our
side of the
home?
online creator side, but the time thinking about in detail what the other side looks like, that's good. Because I feel, unfortunately, nowadays, people don't really look on the other side of things, or people aren't willing to look at things from another person's perspective. And I think that's the biggest problem, especially like the reason why America's going to shit is no one's willing to look at things from someone else's perspective. By the way, Muffin, am I too loud compared to the game?
Chasing them anymore. I'm worried
I
they're
like
sick.
Eldrin, he's
I
funny.
need you to check on them.
I like him too.
Hassan, I told you.
Is that what I think it is?
I'm looking after him.
Remarkable. A griffin. Never thought I'd see one.
That's probably because
Maybe
they're
all
extinct
those
in this
summers
world,
we
at least they were.
dreamed of. The monster hunter turned shepherd.
What was Davrin like back then?
We don't need to waste Eldrin's time with...
He sang a lot.
This guy?
He'd sing to the holler.
You mean the Grey Warden standing next to me?
Now,
I mean, not overly loud,
I
but
get tired
maybe just
trying
a
to
bit
hurt
loud in
them.
comparison.
I
Let me...
started humming to keep myself awake, and they slowed down to listen.
Okay, let's try that.
naturally you
Sorry,
broke
I
out
just
into
realized...
Only when humming did
Sorry,
work.
since this
Just
this
getting
week
the
was the
job
first
done.
time Abby's been able to
Now
stream
the
in a
job
while,
is
I
caretaker
kind of
to
fell out of practice of readjusting
Hassan's got him
the
wrapped around
audit,
his
because she
little
turns
thumb,
hers up
searching all over for
to be
genuine
heard,
Yeah,
and I just
heard.
wasn't really used to messing with that
The truffle hunter.
anymore, so that was my bad.
Seems
Okay, cool.
my old lesson sunk in. Not every creature in the forest is quarry.
I didn't ignore everything you said. And now, we've got some Harla to find.
Davrin, I'm glad to see you took the road less traveled. It suits you.
But
Okay, what do we do?
I've
Find
seen
some
just
stones.
so
Marbles.
many times, so many people
I thought we were looking for Hull.
are just, they
lot
act
of people
like,
go chasing
what was
after
it?
Running around.
A prime example that I can think of off the top of my head is years ago, back when abridging was like the big thing to do on the internet for content creators. I remember little Karibo actually,
Ringing the dinner bell's
as a
lot
joke,
easier than searching the whole damn
called out people who would bother him about where the next episode of Yu-Gi-Oh! Abridged was.
Here we go.
And
Found a marble tree.
yeah, it's
See if
like,
it has a dead
guys,
branch.
the abridgers are doing this
It's hollow.
mostly
When you blow through,
without
mimics
pay.
hollow
I say
skull.
mostly because
Dinner bell.
many of the abridgers did find a way to get monetized.
Here, Here.
especially when Blip was still a thing back in the late 2000s, early 2010s.
I wonder what they taste
But again, after Blip disappeared,
even think
I think the only way they can really make money now is via Patreon.
It lasted an hour.
But it's like,
Paralysis,
guys,
hallucinations,
Little Karibo, it's like they are making Yu-Gi-Oh! Abridged
bad for people.
basically for free. Yes, like I said, there were ways they could get
Hang on.
paid for their
We slice away
time,
the
but
There's
they
seeds
weren't
inside that mimic
charging
qualities.
us, like the viewers
I thought we were
specifically.
ringing the dinner bell.
We're not entitled to their time and effort, and a lot of people just didn't seem to give a shit about that. They just acted all entitled. I did notice you've been streaming a bit less. It's like my streaming has been somewhat unaffected, thankfully, but Abby's has been getting Abby's just been having so much on her plate that it's just harder for her to actually stream. And then we haven't done, like, we really have been meaning to get back to Murder of Sonic the Hedgehog. Like, we have not abandoned that by any means, don't worry. But usually the only times that we have to stream together is either Friday evenings when I get off work or Saturday afternoon. And, well, I'm not upset about this at all, but because we've actually been actively having more and more
Called the Hollow.
activities with, like, our friends.
You sound
Because, like,
excited.
before, anytime
hope
we'd
it's
spend
that
with
and not
friends, it was normally, like, big groups once a month for a big game night, which we're doing tonight as well. It's going to be fun. But we've actually been going out of our way to hang out with a lot of our friends more individually, like going on double dates, movie nights, etc. So that has kind of
It's on
ate
the other
into
side.
the available time that we would normally...
He senses
Or
something.
that kind of takes up the days
Got a
that
griffin.
would
I saw him
normally,
jump them.
excuse me,
I need to be careful.
be when we try to stream, aka Friday nights or Saturday afternoons.
He'd attack the holla?
Plus,
Probably not.
Abby's also been working a lot lately, so that's also slowed things down a bit as well.
This is a good spot. Lay out the stone root and bannerberries.
Because again, I'm really enjoying the Murder of Sonic the Hedgehog because it's enjoyably goofy. But there's also so there are a couple games
Down to blow the horn.
such as Pikmin 1, 2, and 3 on the Switch, which are now multiplayer, which I'm like, oh fuck yeah. Playing those games in multiplayer is going to be fun. But then there's also so there's a game that I purchased way back when, just when I was trying to build up our PlayStation 4 library, and this game kind of caught my attention. But the main character of the game was so insufferable. I'm like, I can't do this. But Abby and I are like, okay, we need to stream this together just because, so we can record our reactions to just the train wreck that is that game. And the game's called Fairy Fencer, if you're wondering. It was a well, okay, the one I have is Fairy Fencer F. It did kind of like a Tales thing where they made like a special edition on a different console and just threw a letter at the end of the name to signify this is the enhanced version. Let's see. That's great. You might not stream as much, but hanging out with friends and stuff is good for your mental health. That's good. Personally, as long as you want to stream, you're going to get to it. It's fine. No, and I'm glad you see it that way, because again, not everyone does. Because I'm sure that I might just be misreading this person's messages, but I we have kind of got a newer viewer who's been tuning in for a lot of the Edgelord Pokemon streams, that I think what they're doing is just, it's very just extreme enthusiasm. It's like, oh geez.
It looks sick.
How long can it last like that?
Another week, maybe? The forest is going rotten.
We need to do something.
Look around for more Vanderberries.
Oh. Hey,
Hassan, don't you even think about going after...
Davrin, remember, trust.
Right. Turlum. Okay. Hassan, do as I would do, boy. Be nice.
Did Hassan just bring it some food?
He did.
Some people can be forgetting the other side of things. Just a guy who actually has a life.
Won't forget that anytime soon. Thank you, Rook. Means a lot to have you here for this.
Okay. Yeah, I did kind of... Don't get me wrong, I love Nev, and I was really flip-flopping, but I just... Yeah, I know it's cliche, the Grey Wardens have to be together or whatever, but... I really just feel that because I've, like, just all the dialogue options I've gotten being a Grey Warden, my chemistry with Davrin is just that good, if you know what I mean. So we're going to go with Davrin with this playthrough.
I wouldn't want to be with anyone else.
Does this mean you decided to take the bait?
I've got some ideas about that.
Aww.
And,
You were saying...
we had the same idea.
Hassan wants a kiss too.
Being with me means being with him.
It's part of the charm.
Give him a little peck on
Eyes
the
of an
beak.
eagle, roar
They are
of love.
cute. Again,
Maybe the heart of a holla.
again, my
I'd
only
say you
regret
followed Turlum.
about
Yeah, you did.
oh,
Come on, boy. You did
about
good.
romancing Davrin in this playthrough is it's not planned. I want to be very clear. That wasn't strictly planned.
We'll need to tell Eldrin about this holla.
Was that unfortunately that does mean that despite how pro LGBTQ plus
So
the
your
Mass Effects
uncle
or
is
the
quite the
BioWare
guy.
games are,
Eldrin will drink you under
I
the table, then
didn't
the floor,
get
and bury you in the
doing
basement as a
LGBTQ
joke.
plus romance in any of the games I've done.
Most of my
And
clan
that
didn't
wasn't
understand why.
strictly
Eldrin
planned
had an
per
open
se.
mind, saw I was restless.
He approved?
He knew I had to find my own way, though he warned me about joining the Wardens.
Too dangerous?
Too much darkness. Eldrin always preached balance in life.
Not a lot of that at Weishaupt.
We reek of darkspawn all the time. Guess that's why working with Hassan, there's something to be said for drawing strength from the light.
And you got me now, too.
Couldn't have asked for a better day.
Because, like, in the case of Dragon Age 1, it was voted on that Edgelord would be a female Dalish elf, and the only gay romance you can get as a woman in the first game is with Liliana,
Afraid of that.
who's super religious, and Edgelord does not go for religion. In Dragon Age 2, I like Hawk's female voice better, and I wanted to show off my best boy.
I wasn't looking forward
So
to
I
watching
romanced
Griffin
them, and in
eat a
the
hollow.
third game, you have to be a woman to romance Solus, which is what I wanted to do to kind of show off just how things in this game and the last game change if you do romance Solus.
Existed long before that.
Existed as what?
A creature of the wild, free to explore their nature.
And then in this game, it's like I knew I wanted to romance either Davrin, Nev, or Bellaros, so I flirted with all three. And I just felt I had the best chemistry with Davrin.
I'm proof that anything can change. Don't know if it's for the better.
Nothing about change is ever certain. I once knew a restless young elf who believed there was more to life than shoveling hollow manure. It's the nature of nature to surprise us.
Maybe you're right. See you around, Eldrin.
I'm gonna take you out of context. You have to be a woman. You know, honestly, we joke, but you know, seeing all these different, like, you know, stories that are about characters who either have the ability to swap genders or are forcibly swapped genders, I'm like, I don't know, if we could make, if more men had to live a day as a woman, I feel we might have a bit less misogyny in the world, because if we made so many of these red-pilled douche canoes have to live their life, you know, under the scrutiny of being perved on by assholes, then we might actually get somewhere in the world, you know? Plus, I've often talked with Abby how much, well, how do I put this? I kind of wish I could experience her period cramps and whatnot, because, and I know there's ways of doing it, I just don't really have access to it. Not because I'm, you know, into pain or anything, but I just wish I could understand what she was going through better, if that makes sense, because I just feel it would make me a more empathetic person. Because I'm not saying you have to be able to go through, you know, you have to go through the same awful, traumatic whatever to be able to completely relate to someone, you know, but I can't deny that it would help, if you know what I mean, because there's really only so much I can do with my own personal experience, especially being a man, you know? That being said, just to clear things up, I do consider myself to be a cis man. Yes, there are times where I'm like, dang, I wish maybe I looked more effeminate, or it's like I'm definitely jealous of the options that women have with their fashion choices out there, because I'm like, what do men have to look nice on a nice evening? Suit and tie, that's it. That's boring. Whereas women have all different, like, they can wear suits, they can wear dresses, they have a million different styles of dresses. And I wish men had variety, if that makes sense. But I still consider myself to be a cis man. More respect and perspective. There are always... There's a French movie where a womanizer hit his head and woke up in the world where the society rules of men and women swapped, so men get hit on and shave. Yeah.
They finally took down both.
No, yeah, no, definitely. I mean, just speaking of shaving, I did actually at one point elect to yes, men have suit and ties for fancy clothes, but I did actually purely out of curiosity I did end up shaving my legs, my pits, etc. Just so I'm like, okay, what does Abby have to deal with daily with our society's beauty expectations of women? And I didn't like it very much. Like, well, I didn't like some of it very much. Some was fine, but anyway, so it's like, yeah, I kind of... The double standards that we have with beauty, I think is a little ridiculous. I also did that. It felt colder. Yeah, I really didn't like shaving the pits, because I felt like I felt like I was getting a rash because there wasn't, the hair wasn't there to, limit the skin on skin friction, if you know what I mean. So I didn't really like that very much, and I haven't done it since. It's also because I actually I do genuinely like the way I look with hair. And it's like women should be allowed to do that if they shouldn't be, it shouldn't just be an expectation that women need to shave their bodies. Like, if they want to because it makes them feel beautiful, fuck yeah. Absolutely. That's awesome.
See you again.
But yeah, it shouldn't be something that's just, this is what women have to do in order to adhere to heteronormativity beauty standards, if you know what I mean. And yeah, especially in my line of work, feeling cold is not always a, yeah. It's like, it can be great when it's hot, but working out, oh, who am I kidding? Like, I'm really kind of concerned about our local ecosystem where we live, simply due to the fact that it's like, we seem to have, like, fucking skipped winter.
Never one like that.
Honestly, with everything I've heard about Gillenane, I'm glad it wasn't worse. In the legends about her, she's nice. She created the Hala. She guides us to our destination. But if you read between the lines, it's, well, creepy.
Oh, good.
Well, I would argue almost any story about any deity or whatever, it's like, if you read between the lines, it's like, they're not actually that great or that friendly. Like, there's this thing that I read on Facebook that pointed out, it's like, God will love you unconditionally as long as you do what he says. It's like, guys, I don't think you know what unconditional love is if you're saying the love only comes if you just obey and don't question, you know? By the way, I know I bring this up every single time I stream this game, or at least the last couple times, but damn, I really love this armor and helmet combo that I have for Rook. It's like, yeah, I probably wouldn't wear it any other time, like, just since I'm a Grey Warden in this playthrough. I want to commit to being a Grey... Yes, I know I technically went AWOL, but at the same time, went back, helped save the Grey Wardens. It's great. So yeah, if anyone ever wants to play this game for the first time, I would recommend doing a Grey Warden as your first origin, because it's given me so many unique dialogue options that I just didn't get when I played a Veil Jumper.
There's dangerous fanatics, then there's Aelia. She's loose in Darktown, and we're in the dark.
What's the plan?
The Threads and Aelia's Venatori are at war. Quiet, of course. Neither side wants Templars on them. We stay in the Threads' graces. They share what they know.
What about Rana? Can she help?
I told Rana that Aelia's back. She needs the warning. As for help, Rana wants to be an example. Not sure where that goes anymore.
Were we sure of things before? Where was I?
Missed it. What can I say?
Darktown's protected. What can the Threads do for you?
Aelia's a pain for both of us. Let's talk.
We know people in this town. Neighbors. When they don't turn up on the rounds, we notice. Aelia used the Threads for dirty work. Stolen relics, muscle, spies. These people, they disappear.
And you haven't reported it.
We're not looking for attention.
Besides, what have Templars and Magisters done for us lately?
We've got you. And you won't stop looking. I've got names, missing ones, all yours. No catch.
No catch? Now that's friendship.
Isn't it?
This is war. We find Aelia, we kill her. Give the cult something to think about. You find her, you do the same. Docktown's ours.
To Docktown. From the people who breathe it, bleed for it, no one's got its back like we do.
To a better Docktown. And doing the best we can till then.
You go far.
To home.
Yeah, I know technically taking the Threads deal... Oh, was that it? That's a shame. I know technically taking the Threads deal was considered like the morally gray decision or whatever, but I don't know. I still feel like as a whole, we both are mutually working to make Docktown better, you know? Combined with the fact that this place is so corrupt, it's not like... I don't know, maybe I missed something in that quest, but... It's like things are so corrupt, it's like things are not better or worse.
Few people are worthy of an invitation, you know. I should put that on the sign. I should get a sign.
Sorry, I kind of lost my train of thought as to what I was trying to say, so I apologize about that. Yeah, I don't know why I kind of completely forgot how to... I completely forgot which button opened up the menu.
I've heard.
Prepare well.
Didn't think so. Right, I'm still a bit broke. Eh.
The dead keep watch.
Well, just don't keep the watch away from everyone. Everyone needs to know the time, you know?
We're not alone.
You know, can you imagine for a second if you actually could do all the crazy parkour and shit that Rogue Rook does in combat? You would have to be so resistant to vertigo and motion sickness and other stuff like that, you know? And you'd have to be resistant to just getting dizzy.
Everything's calm. Looks like the candles worked.
Did I not activate this? Apparently I didn't. Okay. Where's the treasure chest? Hey, Emmerich, shall we?
Now, what do you have to say for yourself?
Did I miss something?
Since we're here to gather flowers for the dead, I thought I'd teach Manfred some plant names. But I just caught him attempting to wade into a rose bush.
Emmerich, how could you stay annoyed at that face? Skull.
Oh, Manfred. Whatever will happen to you if I pass on?
If?
Ah, there's something I'd like to talk about. Do you
I
know
love
what a lich
Manfred too.
is, Rook?
I mean, everybody
ring a
loves
bell.
Manfred. He is
A
adorable.
lich is a mage transformed into one of the undead while retaining their true, original consciousness. The idea fascinated me when I was younger. For years, I researched and experimented, spoke with spirits and mages. Then, eventually, I found them.
Who?
The Lich Lords of the Grand Necropolis. Necromancers before me who'd transformed themselves into true living dead.
Well, not everyone gets to meet their idols.
Oh, but I was nervous. The Liches are the great protectors of the Necropolis, bulwarks against forces that threaten creation. After years of tests and rituals, they granted me my desire, the right to attempt lichdom.
If that's what you want.
I'd anticipated more surprise.
I've seen too much at this
Emmerich,
point.
You live in a haunted necropolis.
Lichdom is an incredible honor. Immortality, prestige, the most hallowed ranks of the Watchers, as well as a chance to be of service past my allotted years. But there are considerations. We have flowers to gather for the dead.
Okay, but I've got questions.
I have mixed feelings about the whole Lich thing. I know, like, in the last stream, I was discussing with an... Let's see, did you know Neil deGrasse Tyson played a super intelligent pig in a cartoon called Gravity Falls for one Wait. Oh, yeah. I remember that. Yes, I've seen... I love Gravity Falls. Me, Abby, and Jesse, we... Well, Jesse would, you know, download each episode as it came out, and we'd all watch them together. Love Gravity Falls. One of my favorite TV shows. I did forget that Neil deGrasse Tyson voiced Waddles in that one episode.
Smells like perfume.
But yeah, I've got kind of mixed feelings on this whole Lich thing. Because, like, again, Endangered was like, oh, he wouldn't enjoy being a Lich. I'm like, I don't think so. I actually think he would. Because, like, in my first playthrough, I did let Emmerich become a Lich. But, I don't know. It's complicated.
And the abilities to oppose them.
And you're joining them when?
Certain elements have held me back.
Let's see. That's funny. Alex here didn't think Neil would actually respond. That's hilarious. That kind of reminds me of... It's not the exact same situation about, what's it called? Nicolas Cage starring in the movie Willy's Wonderland. Because it was supposed to be originally that the writer of Willy's Wonderland would play the star, just because he's like, I don't have the money to hire a big name actor, and it's... But the script made its way to Nicolas Cage, and he's like, I like the script, I'll do it. And he's like, oh, well, I wasn't expecting that. Granted, the writer was like, okay, good. Now I don't have to act on the stage, act on camera.
Even with all my preparations, there's a chance I could die permanently during the rites. What cowardice. The promise of immortality, an end to all my fears, and the final veil stays my hand.
If you want Lichdom that badly, you have to go for it.
I always thought I'd find the courage when I grew older. Traditionally, candidates for Lichdom face one final sifting of the soul. If they avoid it, you saw my old colleague.
Hezenkos. She's a Lich.
A half-Lich, though that hasn't diminished her powers. Until I stop her plans, I won't possess the peace of mind for Lichdom.
Fair enough. Let's see, yeah, I'm fairly sure that movie was also supposed to be the FNAF movie, but Scott didn't like the script. They reused the script change. Actually, no. The writer of that movie, I believe it was, they reached out. There's a YouTube channel called Dead Meat. They do a number of stuff when it comes to, like, horror movies. But, the big thing they do is that they count kills in movies and then kind of talk about some behind-the-scenes trivia from each film. Where is more flowers here? Due to some copyright issues in regards to Willy's Wonderland when it first came out, they initially were like, we're not going to cover Willy's Wonderland on the channel, but the creator of Willy's Wonderland reached out to Dead Meat.
What about the sifting of soul that Hezenkos
and made sure that they could do Willy's Wonderland without issues with copyright or whatever. One of the things that they said was that when they were talking, and maybe it was Dead Meat, maybe it was a different maybe it was another channel that I don't really watch anymore called Foundflix. Or
we made allowances because of her
actually, I think the channel's called something different, but I don't remember what the channel's called. and they actually said, the writer said that it wasn't inspired by Five Nights at Freddy's, or at the very least it wasn't inspired by Chuck E. Cheese animatronics like Five Nights at Freddy's was. It was an idea that they had independently come up with based on just how fucking creepy they found, like, Easter Bunny fursuits or Easter Bunny animatronics that they'd see at the mall around, around Easter time. And then when they wrote it into a script, they thought, well, a Chuck E. Cheese-esque movie, what's the word I'm looking for? Or a Chuck E. Cheese-esque setting would make the most sense for the horror movie. Oh, well, then I've been hit with fake news, and I believed it. Yeah. Now, I wouldn't be surprised if, say, the Banana Splits movie was actually what you were talking about, because I do find it hard to believe that the Banana Splits movie would have been made if it wasn't for Five Nights at Freddy's in some way. Because if you guys don't know, the Banana Splits movie is basically a Five Nights at Freddy's style of movie, for lack of a better word.
If you could place them on the
And the Banana Splits gang was like a thing from the 60s or 70s. That was a kids-friendly TV show, but they then brought them back for a horror movie, which I don't believe would have happened if it wasn't for FNAF.
Shrine to my parents. When I come to talk, I like to think they listen. Well, don't be shy. Introduce yourself.
Rook, it's a pleasure. Do you remember your parents?
Some memories are bright. Others are akin to those dim early morning dreams one gets sometimes. Lately, I wondered what they think of our current course.
Now, to be fair to kind of what you said, Muffin, about it being a rejected script, that could be possible, and the filmmaker could have just been trying to downplay it to hype up their own creativity, which is something that happens all the time. But like Nicolas Cage and Willy's Wonderland, the movie is weird but iconic because of it. I like the best movie to watch with friends on Discord for a fun time. I agree. So actually, fun fact, the reason why Nicolas Cage never speaks in the movie is when the writer was afraid he was going to have to play it, he knew he couldn't act. So he wrote the character to be silent so his awful delivery wouldn't hurt the film. But when Nicolas Cage agreed to do it, he asked if they could keep that trait because he thought that would be an interesting character to play. And I know some people don't like I think it was the Nostalgia Critic who did a review of Willy's Wonderland and brought up the fact that it's like Nicolas Cage is known for his over-the-top performances. So because he never speaks in the movie, you're not getting a full Nicolas Cage performance. Personally, I love the fact that he doesn't speak in the movie because it means that this is a Nicolas Cage movie unlike any other Nicolas Cage movie. Because it's like, you want to see
What do we have here?
an over-the-top, zany Nicolas Cage movie? Literally, just watch any of his other films. It's as simple as that. But this is a movie. Yeah, nah, but I like Nicolas Cage just being super serious and staring all the time. I agree. But yeah, no, I really mean it when I say that it's like, I think Willy's Wonderland might be one of my favorite Nicolas Cage movies just because it is such a unique experience, combined with the fact that when I was younger, and I was a teenager or early 20s or whatever, and it was just shortly after I moved out of my parents' house for the first time to go to college. I started watching a lot more R-rated horror movies and whatnot that I was never allowed to watch as a kid, because being raised Mormon, there is this elitism against R-rated movies. Sort of. I say sort of because, yes, there is an elitism, but it's weird. It's hard to explain. Basically, at least in my generation, I don't know if this is still true, people act like it's like one of the Mormon commandments that thou shalt not watch rated R movies, but it's like, it's not. It's like, sure, there is it's not really a commandment, either way. That's a lot of people have interpreted to mean to not watch R-rated movies, but it's like, no, it doesn't specify R-rated movies, dipshits. Either way, it's just something that Mormons do to make themselves feel superior. Now, I didn't get the video games make you more violent from someone you knew. I didn't personally get it, mostly because my parents were very, very strict about what games we could play. But you'd better believe that I grew up hearing about it. Like, I remember there was, in, like, one of the, I don't even remember the setup, but one of our youth activities in our church, we did, I think, like, some charity or service, or I don't remember. And our youth leader said, hey, as a reward for doing this, he rented a copy of the first Halo game, I think, and let us come over to his place to play Halo as a youth group. Well, he ended up getting in trouble from, like, a lot of the parents, because it's like, how dare you let our kids play an M-rated and violent game? And as a result, that was never allowed again. Despite the fact that it's like, especially the first Halo game, if you're playing just strictly multiplayer, it's no more and yes, it's an M-rated game, but again, if you're playing just specifically the multiplayer, it's no more violent than, say, any of the T-rated James Bond games that were played by kids all the time, or that even I played all the time growing up. But I digress. That guy's doing well. He sounds chill. He was pretty chill, yeah. Yeah, I don't know how he's doing. He moved to a different state when I was very little, so have not seen him or even heard from him, because yeah.
No. I had to kill a man once who did blood magic on nugs. 100 little pigs with hands came after me.
Oh, jeez.
All together in one big writhing ball. Have you ever tried to stab a ball of angry nugs?
I wonder if that's a reference to Critters.
Was a bad job.
I've got a better one. You know what the Wandering Hills are named for? It's a monster. Big heap of red tentacles that crawls around, devouring everything in its path. The damn thing was a hillside, the eyes of a village. You try fighting a hill with a sword sometime.
I'm glad these two are actually getting along really well now.
Lamp oil. Everything stank of burnt tentacles for miles after.
It sounds like a hentai gone wrong.
If the two of you were going to open a bottle, you might have told me first.
It's not a good bottle.
Might have to pick up a supply. I have a feeling we'll need it. Is anyone else hungry? Maybe I should cook something.
What about you, Rook? What's the worst job you've ever been on?
Nevin Harding didn't tell you about our hunt for Solus, then?
They don't tell it the way you would.
I mean, it ended with the Elven God of Lies in my head. Is that enough to win the worst job contest?
You joining us then?
Fine. I'll cook something, if Rook's staying.
Maybe just for a minute.
Rook's story first. Then Lucanus owes me one about this contract on a Bronto.
Mierda. That Bronto.
Edgy usually feels bad whenever I mention my age. Like how when they were a teenager or something, I was negative years. I'm turning 20 this year. Abby's going to be devastated. Yeah, it's so strange to me to think that I'm turning 35 this year. Mostly just because, well, I mean, honestly, the age itself is not the problem. It's just very much how life did not pan out the way that I wanted to at all. Because I remember my life goal was to...
Supper in Docktown? What's the occasion? I've got leads to chase on Alia and Docktown's missing people. A few sources will only talk if I'm alone. But if you're around after, you help me uncover all this. Supper's on me. Sure. Count me in.
Because I remember, and mostly this was just because I was raised LDS and they're obsessed with pumping babies out. Like, I remember I had a goal. It's like, I wanted to be a dad no older than age 25 because I wanted to make sure that I was young enough I could do stuff with my kids. And that was 10 years ago. And well, turns out I can't have kids. So, yeah, it's been weird. Yeah, it's just very much like, let's see, I started watching you when I was like still considered a legal minor, but soon I'm going to start in my 20s. Yeah, it's, I saw a post on social media a while ago that's like growing up and having that awkward moment where it's like, wow, I grew up watching this YouTuber and now it turns out they're a scumbag and not really knowing how to handle it. And it's like, I definitely haven't experienced that as much since most of the guys I've watched growing up largely have remained scandal free. But that's also to bear in mind, I kind of didn't have the I wasn't as engrossed in influencer culture growing up. Because that sort of thing wasn't as widespread. Although, speaking of things that I grew up with or whatever, it was kind of cool seeing that Purple-Eyes WTF. His channel's called something different now because he accidentally deleted his original channel. Yeah, well, you're not a scumbag, just edgelord. Fair enough. But, what's what I'm looking for? Purple-Eyes WTF, who made Code Ment and Nun Piece, uploaded on a new channel a new episode of Code Ment. And I'm like, oh geez, it's so good to hear that guy's voice again. But yeah. Like I said, I've been pretty fortunate in that none of the guys I've really stuck with over the years have been, I mean, because, like, don't get me wrong, probably the closest I got is some of the Channel Awesome scandal stuff, but I didn't grow up watching Channel Awesome stuff. In fact, I didn't even discover Channel Awesome until after Abby and I were dating, so I didn't have the nostalgia around them, so I wasn't as devastated when it turned out they were kind of treating their other members pretty terribly, you know? Yeah, I'm just... Now, growing up and finding out about a lot of the terrible stuff that maybe some voice actors I loved growing up have done from, like, TV shows that I like, or actors who have died young from TV shows that I grew up with. Now that's kind of sad. I think probably the obvious one is Vic Mignogna, because hell, like right before the Vic Mignogna scandal kicked off, I was, well, quote unquote, fortunate enough to have him come to a local anime convention that Abby and I used to go to before it shut down forever due to embezzlement.
Has anyone been held accountable for the damage the palace did to the city?
And even then, the Vic Mignogna one is hard. Because, to my understanding, the Vic Mignogna one controversy has never been, like, 100% confirmed. But at the same time, it's like, it's bad enough that even if it's never been proven 100%, it's not something that can just be ignored, if you know what I mean. Or finding out that, like, some of the people who created, like, TV shows I used to watch as a kid are, like... Finding out that Butch Hartman is a complete piece of shit. I mean, he's not as bad as, say, the creator of The Loud House or the absolute garbage human being who created Ren and Stimpy. Like, holy shit, how is that man not in prison for life? But just the fact that Butch Hartman, you know, he created Fairly Odd Parents, Danny Phantom, which I didn't watch, and he worked on a bunch of other shows I watched as a kid. And it's like, he's a maniacal douchebag who just sees himself, who's like a Christian psychopath, to say the very least. I mean, not to the same degree that the current U.S. administration is, but yeah, no, he's a POS. That was probably kind of similar to people who grew up watching, who were little kids and watched like Logan Paul or Mr. Beast, finding out they're absolute piece of shit.
Well, I'm late. Try grabbing something from Hal.
Although speaking of Logan Paul, I'm happy to hear that Prime is going out of business, because I've actually seen Prime pulled from all the local stores, so fuck off. And with the CoffeeZilla lawsuit not going his way, this might be the end for Logan Paul, hopefully.
You're at that supper I promised.
Well, we've got at least one witness. Want a question?
Now, if Mr. Beast could just lose everything, that'd be nice. Especially because that piece of shit is like partnering with Saudi Arabia or whatever.
Maybe. I could use a walk. And some rocks. You up for it?
Rocks?
Yeah. So, rocks. Look for good ones.
You were serious about this?
You'll see why.
Why are we doing this?
You know what they say, leave no stone unturned.
Really?
No.
Seriously, do you ever take breaks? Real ones?
What do you call this?
Picking up rocks. And I'll...
All right, time to put these rocks to use. Come on.
How are we doing?
With the rocks or in general?
Let's stick with the rocks.
In that case, so far so good.
A win for us.
I guess it is.
One of the Undertale animation series had like a pedo in their Discord server, and they defended them because it was their friend, of course. The show Glitch Tale wasn't anything spectacular, but it was fun. Yeah. It kind of... There was... I didn't have cable growing up, but occasionally when I was at my grandma's who did have cable, I'd watch Cartoon Network and watch some of the animes that were on there, because, like, not counting things like Pokemon or Digimon, like animes that were made for super young kids, the only more mature anime, and I say mature, no, yeah, more mature anime I saw as a kid was Escaflowne, because, and even then that show got pulled after only a couple episodes. So I didn't get to watch like more, you know, anime with more mature themes till much later in life when I was a teenager. But when I was at my grandma's watching cable, that's where I was able to watch Dragon Ball Z, Yu Yu Hakusho, and the show about the samurai who swore never to kill anyone again. So it's like, even though I only saw like 2 episodes of Yu Yu Hakusho in that samurai anime, they've always stuck with me. And finding out that the writer of the samurai anime, I think, went to prison for underage salacious material just kind of sort of sours the whole thing for me, you know?
You ever figure out how? Let me know. Sure thing.
I can unfortunately report that I saw Mr. Beast beef jerky and I left the store, so Mr. Beast is going to take a while before he starts to die down. Yeah, I mean...
But if I could take a job and follow through, well,
especially since it doesn't help that he's getting backing from people and shit.
At the end of the day, what have I done here? What sticks? If people like Alia come back for more...
I don't know. Just like, I need him to crash and burn.
Rook. Sometimes it feels as though the city itself stabs me in the back.
Because, like, very much Jacksepticeye just called him out perfectly.
I've been told I've got an answer for everything. Only I don't for this. Or a lot of things. And I don't think it was a compliment.
Aren't we a pair? Getting mixed up in my problems. Can't say it's a smart play.
Because I think the thing that just pisses me the most off about Mr. Beast is how just blatantly scammy and skeevy he is. To the point where it's like, everything he does is a borderline blatant lie. Because, like, as a lot of people pointed out with his chocolate bars,
she was there.
Like,
we didn't see
they
her.
at first made sure that they were following
maybe
all the regulations to make sure that the chocolate was made cruelty-free, slavery-free, and whatnot, and had, like, the stamp on the chocolate.
We need to get to the spillway.
But then the stamp just disappeared after a short amount of time, making it very clear that he more likely than not only did the bare minimum, only stuck to the proper codes and whatnot at first, and then once he was able to convince everyone, oh, I'm ethically sourcing my chocolate, he then switched to cheaper, unethically sourced methods just to pull the wool over people's eyes. Or then also, as everyone was pointing out with Lunchly, they were trying to, say it was a healthier alternative to Lunchables simply because it had more, because it had electrolytes and had more liquid than a Lunchable or whatever. Even though it's like, it's not healthier. It has more of one thing or something like that. So they could technically push it. It's like, oh, well, it's higher in blah, 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 but that doesn't mean healthy. Especially since, as people pointed out, it's like, just because you have more electrolytes, you have way more sodium, which can be devastatingly bad for the heart.
The threat smuggler. But this feels scrambled. 2 people's thoughts in one source. She wasn't a traitor. She was a puppet. Alia moving goods to her followers. Here goes nothing. Echoes of greed, pride, our Venatori with Taurus. Look there, there's more. By the waterfall. We're close to something. I can feel it.
Skipping stones really work.
I guess some of my plans pan out.
And I also just really hate how dismissive Mr. Beast was about the moldy
A witness?
Lunchlys.
After we left. If I can pull out more of an echo, a memory.
So Lev Gallus is back. Tell me what you saw.
Nothing, I swear.
Aelia.
No. In my head. Stay out.
A bystander. They must have seen the fight.
Then Aelia showed up.
Tell me, would you see this city rise? Be a thrall in service to its glorious rebirth?
That sounds awful.
Silence! Your will
belongs to the Venatori.
Damn it.
The risen god will unlock my true power.
If you want to unlock your true power, just drink like 10 5-hour energies to have, you know, 50.
Vina Vitalis.
Have, you know, just have 50 hours of energy in a row.
To increase blood magic. Fake accounts appear on the black market. The real records were burned by magistrates.
Also, don't drink 5-hour energy, kids.
But if Aelia cozied up to
Like,
Algernon,
I'm not joking. It will
God
kill
might know
you.
the trick. Or something close he could trade as our legacy. A blood
Also, don't take caffeine pills or caffeine powder. They will also kill you.
But where? When? Who else does Aelia break before I track her down?
Nev?
This place means something to me. But what am I to it if I can't?
Minrath has failed before, not you. This time we stop Aelia for good. Venatori who threatened Docktown, they've got Nev Gallus to fear.
She won't make it easy.
People's lives are at stake.
Aren't they always? I'm a sucker, Rook. Getting caught up in all this. Bad habit.
You're not fighting alone.
End of the day, I'm used to counting on myself. That's how it's been.
And now you've got us, when you need it.
Drink like 8 million 5-hour energies and you will live forever. Or die in 5 hours. High risk with high reward. But yeah, with the 5-hour energy thing, I had a friend, one of my college roommates was, their father was a mortician. And around the time when 5-hour energies were first introduced to the market, people were drinking them more than, like, they were ignoring the warning labels and the instructions, and they were just knocking them back just to get more and more energy. And my old college roommate's dad was now seeing like a massive influx of heart attack deaths brought about because people were drinking too much 5-hour energy and just causing their heart to collapse or to give out. So yeah, like, I'm not being facetious. I'm not trying to just, you know, libel or whatnot. And yes, technically speaking, as long as you drink the 5-hour energy in moderation, you'll be fine. But I just feel as a whole, you should just avoid anything that has that much caffeine, that there is a genuine, honest-to-God risk that your heart's going to give out.
Anyway, that warden, his story, it could have been
That-
demons or just nightmares of a bad time. Now I wonder.
Sorry, what's that word you said, Muffin? Factitious?
Now Venatori, what's going on?
How come I can't dual wield scythes or sickles or whatever? When he said I'm not
interesting.
fictitious or
I
something.
wasn't expecting
Okay.
Senatori to
Or
show up.
factitious.
Something to do with the shipments they talked about?
Let's look around. I'm getting a bad feeling about this.
This ain't Star Wars. You know, can I also say I just really love, like, the green aura that I get around my swords when I get that necrotic damage.
Thank the Maker. Did you find the others?
What others?
Those mercenaries have abducted people from around Docktown, then sold them to the Venatori. I heard them talk about a warehouse. They could be holding them there.
We'll look into it.
I realized I never actually finished a thought that I started like forever ago on the stream because I rambled too much.
Just to be safe.
Back in when I was in college, and me and my roommates were just hanging out trying to decide something to do. Use a scythe of Quakes. It's a golden scythe. It can be used to control the earth element. Nice. And we were trying to decide what to do on a Saturday afternoon. And one of my roommates was like, let's play Castle Crashers, which was, I don't know if Castle Crashers is even still available on any modern console or whatever, but it was available for digital download at the time on the Xbox 360, maybe PlayStation 3, and maybe Steam. I don't know. Well, my other two roommates both said no, they didn't want to play Castle Crashers, but I was like, okay, sure. I like side-scrolling beat-em-up games, and since this one was, you know, had RPG elements, it genuinely sounded fun. And it kind of was. But my biggest problem with it is because apparently it was, like, made by, like, Newgrounds developers. There was a lot of poop humor, and it was very lowbrow and immature. But I remember I chose to pick to play, like, the knight that used, like, poison elemental damage or whatever. And that just was, like, one of the only times I ever used poison heavily as an element of choice. So, except for, like, right now, I've got the swords using necrotic damage. But, man, that, to me, at the very least, really kind of showcased how much I just didn't really like spending time, or this might be horrible to say, but it kind of officially is when me and my other roommates are like, we can't let this friend or this roommate pick the activities that we're going to do. Because found out the reason why my other roommates didn't want to play Castle Crashers with this guy was because I'm like, sure, I'll play. I think we got like maybe 2 or 3 levels in. And it's like, okay, we're now at this boss fight. This is a really good boss fight to grind against. I'm like, but I don't want to grind. I want to play the game. Well, but we want to grind up so we can get stronger later. I'm like, I don't want to do that. I want to see more of the game. But I think just because he was first player, he was the one who got to pick the level selection. And after like fighting it twice, I'm like, no. I am not going to keep fighting this stupid boss over and over and over and over again. I want to play more of the game. It's like, we need to grind. And so I just put the controller down. I'm like, nope, I'm not playing. And then we were trying to figure out, I'm like, okay, so what else should we do? He's like, but I really want to play Castle Crashers. I'm like, good for you. But none of us want to play Castle Crashers, and you've made it really and it's like you kind of screwed the pooch when it comes to picking the activity, because even if we all wanted to play Castle Crashers, we don't want to play it in the way that you're insisting we have to. And like another prime example, this was actually, I think, the very last time I hung out with this roommate, because this was sort of after I think this was either like just before or just after I graduated. So we weren't going to be roommates for very much longer, or we weren't roommates anymore at that point, but we decided he came up to the town I live in, so we like, let's hang out. So I think we went to a local laser tag place, I think. And then once we were done there, we went to a Maverick and got some food. And then and because the agreement was we would put him up for the night, so he didn't have to drive home, you know, super late. So words. Where was I going with this? Well, I don't really remember anything else we did, except it's like we started talking about the Zelda games, and I brought up how I personally felt the worst Zelda game was Zelda 2. Now bear in mind, this was before or just after Skyward Sword had come out, so this was a while ago.
You all right?
No, but I'm alive and grateful. They were going to take me somewhere. They talked about rituals and risen gods.
You don't have to worry about that anymore. Do you have somewhere to go? Someplace you'll be safe?
I don't know the city.
Go to the docks. Ask for directions to the pawn shop. When you get there, tell them Gallus sent you.
So I pulled up because I'm trying to remember if this was packaged in with our GameCube or if this was a pre-order bonus from pre-ordering Wind Waker, because I don't remember. But we had, I mean, I still have it, like the special GameCube disc that, hold on, that had Zelda 1, 2, Ocarina of Time, and Wind Waker, as well as a brief demo of, not Wind Waker, Majora's Mask, and then a brief demo of Wind Waker on it. So, yeah, that was probably one of the best GameCube discs we ever owned. Well, so I queued that up, pulled it up on our GameCube, and just here, give it a shot. And so he played Zelda 2 for just a few minutes, and let's see, I gotta go. Hey, thanks for stopping by, Muffin. Gotta go do something. Might come back, I don't know, in case. See you later. Good luck in the battles. Thank you very much, Muffin. But yeah, played for a minute, got into a fight, got hurt pretty badly, and it's like, all right, now heal yourself. I'm like, he was like, how? I'm like, exactly. Now, since then, I have come to learn that there are the women in town who will heal you up, mostly because there's that really immature joke of everyone. It's like, oh, she's pulling Link off, and that's how he's getting healed, which I'm like, it's immature, guys. But, I didn't know that at the time. So, yeah, he just couldn't figure out how to heal, got overwhelmed by enemies, and just gamed over. So I'm like, yeah, you kind of see the problem. It's like, okay, what do we want to do now? He's like, I want to keep playing this. I'm like, no. I said, what do we want to do? Like, well, I want to try to beat this. I'm like, Steve, it's like, dude, I am not going to sit here and watch you try and fail to play this game over and over and over again. I did not invite you over to hang out so I could watch you play a game that's not that good. So, yeah, I basically had to say, fuck no, we're not doing that. And he was still kind of bitching and moaning. He was still kind of upset about it because he wanted to try and beat the game. And it's like, you want to try to beat the game, then emulate it. And try it on your own time, because I did not.
Sure thing.
Yeah, anyway.
Here goes nothing.
But then, like, again, I don't even remember what it was, but I'm like, hey, it's getting late. I'm going to bed. And it's like, here's the guest bedroom. He's like, I don't want to go to sleep yet. I'm like, okay, but I need to sleep. I'm going to bed. You are more than welcome to stay open. You know, it's like, but just make your way to the bedroom when you're done or whatever. She's like, okay. Well, I wake up the next morning and it's like he insists on staying up playing my Xbox.
You bet.
So I wake up the next morning and come to find that Wankard never even went to bed. He just passed out on the floor playing video games all night. So it's like, dude, we offered you a warm bed, and you didn't take it. You just played till you passed out, taking up room in our living room, where it's like, we kind of need the living room to do our day-to-day stuff, you know? And honestly, it's like, that was the last time I ever hung out with this roommate, because I'm like, okay, you've made it perfectly clear you don't actually care about, you don't have any consideration for anyone but yourself. I mean, like I said, I kind of feel like he demonstrated that with that whole Castle Crashers thing, but this is what really drove it home for me.
Look at all this.
There's a story around Docktown about a thread smuggler who hid a hoard of goods. People say he sailed to Ravane with it, or Antiva. Either way, he made an enemy of the thread. What if it was here the whole time?
Wait. Can I look down in there? Yes, I can.
You got it.
Oh, that, wait, what? That didn't do what I thought it was supposed to at all. WT, fuck?
I've got this.
Well, it worked. But yeah, just that kind of behavior that I was just described for my roommate is a big part of the reason. Well, actually, my roommates in general are a big part of the reason why I've always tried to actively make sure that whenever we're hanging out with friends, we're always doing a mix of what everyone wants to do, you know? Because, like, another asshole roommate, like, one that I will not speak to because the fucker stole from me. Basically because he was he was older than all of us by about a decade. He was always like, I'm older and I know better than all of you, so when I say we're going to do something, everyone just has to cow down and do it, or other shit like that.
Trust me, it's her. And we're lucky. If someone found the body before us, she would have been cremated.
Ugh, I'll never understand that custom.
What are you two up to?
Look, it's very exciting. Nev's invited me to help solve a murder.
Well, if anyone's gonna gather clues from the dead...
I helped the Navaran city guard a few times, but a long-lost crime from the heart of Tevinter.
Let's not oversell it. You ready?
By the flame that stoked you, by the light that rises. Return and speak.
What do you want of this one?
You were a shadow dragon. Someone took you out.
She's already digging in. Be firm.
Why should this one speak?
For a chance to right some wrongs.
One last time.
Speak with no promise of answer.
You helped get people out of the city. Who was the last person you took?
No. Secret. This one's to protect.
They're clinging to a role, keeping secrets.
Fine. Then tell me who killed you. Did you see their face?
Their name gives the other away.
If they came for you, then they're coming for whoever you helped escape.
Right, so this got intense. But if someone's in danger, please help.
One more answer, and you can rest.
This one saw the murderer's face. Piranhas. His son wanted out for blood mage family. This one got the son to Azariel. Help him.
The shadow dragons will get him to safety.
Thank you.
The spirit has left us. Thank you for trusting me with one of your dead.
Wouldn't leave that to just anyone. You're a different story. Thanks for the help.
Anytime.
Yeah, again, I like just... It's always fascinating whenever necromancy as a concept is, I guess for lack of a better word, normalized for some characters, because it is truly kind of fascinating to see just the different ways that people... Actually, what does this one look like? I never actually... Oh. Looks kind of cool. I am going to stick with what my sword looks like. Because it is always kind of interesting to see whenever necromancers are not supposed to be like super evil.
Amazing. Does all coffee smell like this? Or just the stuff you
I just kind of see
Coffee
their
has a distinct aroma, if that's what you're asking.
their mindsets in life,
was
whatever.
really rare where I grew up. And expensive.
Try everything once. That's what I say.
I want to, but sometimes I just like having what I like.
Nothing wrong with that. So, Harding, what do you think?
It's
delicious.
Really selling it, Harding.
Hey, I've known some liars, and I am definitely not it. And this stuff, it's good. It's warm.
I won't be upset if you don't like coffee.
You really wouldn't.
I know, but sorry. It's just this thing I do sometimes.
Acting so people will like you?
It sounds terrible when you say it like that. I know I don't need to do it. I just do.
Sounds really healthy when you put it that way.
You must have been pretty tiny as a child.
Where'd that come from?
A tiny dwarven girl in a land of large human farmers.
Oh, yeah. I probably learned pretty quick that things worked out better if people liked me. If they agreed with me, or I agreed with them.
Some people like cream or sugar in their coffee.
Maybe coffee just isn't my thing.
I feel ya. It's like, I have only ever tried coffee once. I'm sure I've shared this story before, but not everyone will have seen said story or have heard it. Anyway, what happened is this was when I was still working at Target. And in the Target in question, there was a Starbucks. Well, the Starbucks baristas were having a competition to see who could come up with the best new drink. I think that's what was going on. Excuse me. And I think whoever won got a gift card or something, or like the drink we put on the menu. I never really like knew what the deal was, but so they were all bringing their drinks around for everyone to sample. Now, I rejected almost all of them simply due to the fact that I didn't grow up drinking. I've never drank coffee, and there is, being raised LDS, there is a stigma against drinking coffee. But anyway, when they brought this one around, it's like I admitted I was kind of interested in, trying coffee at least once. And because this one was like, I think it's a mocha or whatever. So it was hot chocolate and coffee with whipped cream. Like basically it sounded very chocolatey. And I'm like, okay, that sounds like something I might be interested in. So I took one sip, and it was like one of the most bitter things I ever put in my mouth. So I just like spat it out and just like, wham! And I know that the sad barista was like, oh, that's not what she wanted to see. And I'm like, it's not you. I've never had coffee before, and I think it's very clear I don't like it. It's like, because I did feel bad about how viscerally I reacted, but it was nasty.
Safe travels.
No.
Strife, I got a tip there might be trouble here in Arlathan.
You're just in time. We've got a problem.
I was out with a scouting party, and we spotted the Venatori moving into the area.
They're being directed by Elganon or Gillenane. They have to be. The Grey Wardens warned us the gods were heading to Arlathan, but why bring the Venatori?
We don't know. That's where you come in.
Every time I bump into the Venatori, there's some kind of evil rune, ritual, or relic involved.
Or all three.
I'll give you the rough location where we sighted them, but you might have to search beyond that.
Yeah, have to search beyond the burning skies.
And we need to know what they're up to.
I'll find out what it is.
Feel free to take out as many of them as you can. This is our forest.
This place makes the back of my eyes hurt.
This was the center of a war between Tevinter Magisters and ancient elves. Blood magic everywhere. The Magisters destroyed Arlethan City. That kind of magic leaves an impression.
Yeah? Yes, it would.
Venatori, Irilyn was right.
Let's kick him out.
That's the last of them.
Good. Now what were they doing out here?
Looks like they set up a camp.
Let's take a look.
You know, this is why you should normally leave one alive to interrogate.
Not sure what this is. Ballora?
It's Dalish. There's a Dalish camp nearby. If the Venatori hit them...
They could be in trouble.
Let's go. Now.
Gotta go fast. You know, I just realized, since I didn't romance Nev this time around, my next planned playthrough was gonna be Black Dragons. So it's like, oh hey, that's kind of cute. I could romance the Black Dragon as a Black Dragon. Then again, by that logic, I should have romanced Ballora in my first playthrough because I was a Veil Jumper in that one. Again, honestly, I can see that the background is not going to add an extra layer of chemistry between romance options the same way it did between me and Davrin being Grey Wardens. And that's just because most of the other backgrounds are like just joining a faction. They're not as literally reality and life altering as being a Grey Warden is, you know?
Looks like we got them all. This many Venatori and Arlethan is just wrong. Never seen it like this.
At least Arlethan Forest is as weird as ever. Come on.
Hey, the one thing you can rely on with Arlethan Forest is that it's not reliable. It's reliably unreliable. Excuse me. Leroy Jank. Oh, so fun fact. Well, not fun fact, fun story. Abby and I were talking the other day about just brain rot. And about how it just feels like brain rot is at an all-time high. And just like, it feels like it's the majority of what, you know, like young kids consume on the internet now. And we were like, did we have brain rot when we were kids? It's like, we must have. And we started talking about, like, Astaff movie. And we're like, no, Astaff is not brain rot. And I will argue against anyone who says that it is, because it's just, it's too clever as a whole.
There's Venatori ahead.
But we were like, what was our brain rot then? And we were drawing a blank. But then Abby was watching an episode from something from Peanut Butter Gamer. I think it was on his Peebs channel, not his Peanut Butter Gamer channel, where he was watching old internet memes or internet videos or whatever, and he pulled up one of the ones he watched was the Llama song, which played. I think that originated on Albino Black Sheep, and it was like, oh yeah, our brain rot back in the day were those songs that had to be hosted, you know, before YouTube, that had to be hosted on websites like Albino Black Sheep and other stuff like that.
Damn it.
That
Still locked.
basically just existed to be played on a loop forever. So like the Llama song, the so it's like, yeah, things like the Llama song, things like the Cat song, things like the Badger song. It's like that was our brain rot because it was just mindlessly repetitive and just went on for fucking ever. Okay, I can, but there's 4. Wait, hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's like, and I certainly can't say that. Oh, wait. This is like entering a combo, not getting the symbols to match. Got it. And again, I'm not trying to say that it's like, well, my brain rot is better than kids these days brain rot. It's just more, it's like, oh.
Time to get moving.
I'm gratefully so actually managed to kind of completely forget about the brain rot that I grew up with.
Who says they don't have a...
Plus, I at the very least, it's like, I didn't really encounter this brain rot, at least online. And that's partially because video sharing wasn't as commonplace at all. When I was, I mean, hell, like, some of the earliest, what was it? The earliest videos I watched online were Red versus Blue, but because of how difficult and beefy the process was of watching, you know, streaming videos online, we had to watch. It's like Red versus Blue is only like, what? Their episodes are like maybe 10 minutes long. They still had to be broken up into multiple parts in order to allow the bandwidth that we had back in the day with like dial-up internet and shit like that to be able to get it to come through.
Not soon enough. Still don't know what they're doing here. Let's keep looking around.
Again, it's like brain rot content I feel is always going to have a place. I think the only real issue we've been running into is that brain rot is being given to kids at such a young age now. Like, basically, kids are being raised on brain rot. Like, I think it was the YouTuber Saberspark. He talked about, like, one of their cousins, brothers, I don't remember which. They're like a school teacher, and they're saying that now kids these days, pardon me for saying that, because they have been raised in the era of like instant gratification through the internet and instant videos and whatnot, and especially brain rot, they don't have an attention span. So like sitting and paying attention and learning in class is just something that their brain has not been conditioned to let them do. So that's the big reason I absolutely despise channels like Cocomelon that are designed to target small, like, developing children. Because, yeah, if you start them in on the brain rot that early, then they're not going to be able to develop the skills to, like, take in information at, you know, in a healthy way, and it's going to just... It's also the reason why I don't like TikTok, and why in a way I kind of disliked Vine, is this whole micro content of, it's like, oh, just do whatever it takes to get the information and get the video over as quick as possible. Because you see, personally, I've always preferred videos that are long form for the most part. Now, admittedly, if it's a subject I don't care as much about, not as much, but even still, it's like, I'd rather have something long I can put on and watch rather than just like, here's a short 5-second video that I can just put on, boom, and then move on, you know? Now, that's not to say that there isn't a place for this micro content, because there absolutely is. Because I've seen some absolutely hilarious content come from this shorter format. Like, one of the best ones was that still lives rent-free in my head that I think was only about a minute long. So, not quite the micro content. Was, I think it was a TikTok that my older brother showed me. It opens with, kind of like in a musical or song thing. This one be, we don't know what color the dinosaurs are, which was a video that was not put out by the person who made the main video. And then it cuts to the video maker. I'm like, okay, listen, this isn't true. Please stop spreading this misinformation. We do know what color dinosaurs are. And I'm like, oh, okay. He's like, and there's a very clear scientific method to do this. And, you know, it genuinely kind of comes across. I'm like, okay, this is, I kind of want to know, what is the scientific method for how scientists have figured out how to tell which color dinosaurs are? And then he's like, all you need to do is you match the dinosaur to its Power Ranger. That is how we know that T-Rexes are red. I'm like, okay, that's fucking hilarious. And quite frankly, it needed to be short. But by the same token, the delivery, the way the guy was talking, building up to the punchline, wasn't rushed. He took his time. He was slow. He built the suspense. He got you like, oh, where's this gonna go? He did everything for, you know, good comedy. It's like, again, it wasn't just quick. And sure, while the video wasn't that long as a whole, it's like, well, it needed to be this short because otherwise it would drag. So I guess that's what I'm saying. It's like, that's why it's like, I'm not fully against micro content. It's just, if that's all that people consume nowadays, I do think it is a bit of a problem because you don't learn the patience to, you know, sit and get invested in what you're watching. Because, like, just as an example, there was a Star Wars YouTube channel I used to watch that was meant to kind of be like, oh, let's talk about some obscure facts or some lesser-known things from the Star Wars franchise. But as I kind of noticed the more I watched him, he repeated points over and over and over again just to make sure the video reached the whatever the minute mark was that it needed to be in order to get ads on it. And I'm like, this is really boring because I feel like they're just talking forever and never getting to the goddamn point. And again, it's just, it's all there. I think I got the first symbol wrong. No? Oh, okay, I see the problem.
Did it. Let's see what she has to say.
It's okay, you're safe. I'm a veil jumper. What happened here?
That other veil jumper died making sure I was safe. She sealed the barrier before the Venatori could get me.
What about the rest of the Dalish?
They took everyone. Kidnapped them all.
Why? Where'd they go?
I don't know. Their leader said they need Dalish blood.
Of
some
course
sort
it's
of
blood.
sacrifice.
Sacrificed? Why am I not surprised?
Because it's Venatori.
We need to figure out where the Venatori took them. Let's look around.
If they lay one finger on those prisoners.
Loot the bodies! Loot the bodies!
Some papers here, but nothing useful. No mention of a location. Well, doesn't look like the Venatori brought many supplies with them.
They must have a nest close by. We find it. Maybe we find the Dalish.
Yeah, but where exactly? Let's keep looking around.
See?
Just some mud here. But it looks like there's some kind of glass here too.
Glass? Wait a second. There's a crater nearby. Thousands of years ago, blood magic destroyed that area. All that energy turned the sand to glass.
Sounds...
And we know the Venatori didn't come very far.
They must have taken the Dalish to the crater.
See, looting the body is what, you know, was the solution.
We got here as fast as we could.
It's bad. They're kidnapping Dalish to sacrifice them.
What?
You're serious?
I wish I wasn't. But the Venatori were brutal. Those Dalish are in trouble.
I can't believe this. Sacrificing our people? Where did they take the prisoners?
The lake. The old crater.
We have to do something.
We'll find them. But it'll take time to put together a rescue party.
Don't take too much time. We need to stop this.
Basically, that's game speak for saying, we're not going to force you into this. This is not a timed quest. If you need to go do other stuff, you won't be penalized for it. You know, what's it called? Mass Effect 3, I did kind of appreciate, also hate, that there were some quests in that game that you did have to do by a certain point in time. Because it's like, it did make a certain amount of sense that it's like, okay, you're literally at war fighting for survival, and you got giant demon robot squids going around the galaxy killing people left and right. So again, in its own weird way, I did actually kind of appreciate the timer on some of the quests. However, on the other hand, it can be kind of annoying when you do have such a limited amount of time. When it's like, okay, I didn't realize that doing this quest first would mean I couldn't do that quest there, so yeah, I do understand the frustration that does kind of come from... Oh, jeez, I just realized that the Black Dragon... I mean, yeah, I understand why the Crows are so far behind. It's because they don't have a shop that I can shop at to bump up their numbers anymore. And I mean, I guess this game kind of had it in that, because I advanced the story enough, I lost access to so many shops and other things in Treviso. I mean, granted, I wasn't exactly sure where I could go to grind money at that point in the game, so I could do all the shopping I needed there and all the bumping up and all that other stuff, but I digress.
Tell me about Anaris.
He is the light, the hope of Elvenan, the bringer of...
Tell me about the war against the Evenuris.
Even now, the armies of Anaris wage a glorious war against the...
Tell me about the armies.
The chosen of Elvenan, made pure and stripped of their want to serve the great Anaris.
So demons. He made an army of demons. Damn it, Syrian. What have you done? Oh, Rook.
What's going on?
I'm trying to find out why Syrian would help Anaris. It just gets worse. Harder to understand. Now he wants to meet. Syrian, I mean, to explain himself.
It's kind of hard to explain turning people into demons.
That's putting it mildly.
Talking to him again, knowing what I know, it's hard. Beyond hard. And that's if this isn't all a big trap.
Listen to your gut. Would he really try to lure you into a trap?
I would have said no before all of this. The Syrian I know cared, loved his people more than anything. He kept me grounded, focused, made sure I was okay. And I took care of him, protected him because I loved my little brother and I owed him. But what he is now, who he is now, I don't know. I'd hoped the archive would make it easy. Tell me it was a misunderstanding. But Anaris is evil, full stop. And if my brother's working with him...
I know this is hard for you, but you know we have to stop them, right?
I know, I get it. He's my brother, though. The day he died, or I thought he died, it was the worst day of my life. I don't know if I can do that again.
So what are you going to do?
Meet with him.
Are you okay with that?
No, but I need to talk to him, convince him he's wrong.
And if that doesn't work?
Will you come with me?
No.
Of course.
Thanks, Rook. Really. Just tell me when you're ready.
More side questings now available. For some people, anyway.
There's something I need to do back home.
Everything all right?
Yeah, just chasing Aelia. It brings a lot up. If you're around, maybe. I'd take the company.
Sure thing, Nev.
Fuck yeah, Sparkle Sparkle.
To think, Morrigan.
Good, you're here.
What happened?
A note from Viago. Katerina is alive.
What?
How?
Zara's Karkis told the truth. Ilario didn't arrange Katerina's death because he spirited her away. Katerina has been a prisoner in her own villa, with Ilario as her keeper.
If there's any justice, she's made Ilario's life a misery every single day.
Ilario is making his move. He's hosting the talents of the crows at Via della Morte. All of them.
That means the finest wine and an even finer banquet.
If Iago's nearby, assume it's poisoned. We have to do this carefully. Ilario has to be expecting us.
You think he knows that we know about him and Elganon?
He wouldn't be avoiding us otherwise. Be ready for a trap.
It's a trap.
It'll be slow going through Treviso.
Not for us. We're going by water, and Spite is keen to get this done.
Then let's make this a night to remember.
Hey, Rook. Have time for something outside the lighthouse? I was going to head to Arlington with the sun. See a real sky again. I was hoping you'd keep me company.
Sorry, we're going to do this one first because it technically, I'd argue, is the most urgent out of all of the ones that are available. I mean, okay, yes, Bellaris is kind of urgent, but I also kind of feel like, okay, I still feel like I owe Lucanus for not saving Treviso.
Good. Found light and no one heard our gondola. Where to now?
We go under the bridge.
We aren't going in through a sewer, are we?
No sewers in Treviso. The streets are barely above water as it is. There's a hidden escape route. That's our way inside.
Your house has a secret escape route, and Ilario didn't post a guard on it?
Ilario doesn't know it's here.
Why not?
Katerina didn't even tell me about it. I found it laying here alone as a boy.
Well, that's handy.
What the?
He let them into the house. Now I'll have to get the whole thing.
Yep.
Kill them for the glory of Tavinta! Nice work!
They mentioned an old woman?
Katerina.
Katerina must be a difficult prisoner.
I don't know why I was doing that.
And here we are.
Don't mind
Welcome
me.
to Villa della Morte.
Ooh. No wonder Ilario wants to inherit.
Home? Smells like dust and linseed oil. Don't say that when Katerina is in earshot.
Watch out. Who goes there?
The last person you will ever see.
Nice.
Done. Where are the next?
So you lived here?
Ilario and I both did, until we were 18.
What about your parents?
Killed by a rival house. We would have ended up with Katerina anyway, to train.
They've made themselves comfortable. but we'll get them out.
Oh, can I not open that door? Okay. I don't want to miss any of the chests. Do 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 do. Okay, good. Glad I came back for that. Do 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 do. Is there really nothing else up here?
Ready when you are. No Venatori leave this house alive.
Watch ahead.
Intruders! First the Black Cup of my city, and now you want my house.
Here we go. Right. I'm wearing that helmet, the current helmet, for basically the rest of the game until it's time for like the final boss. Just because I need more money. I need so much more money.
The door's been barred from the inside.
Kick it down. Oh wow, again, I actually have my sword in a cutscene.
Katerina, Lucanis, my poor boy.
I'd love to celebrate this touching family reunion with you both, but now might not be the best time. We have Ilario's celebration to deal with.
Rook, blight or no, we must find somewhere safe for Katerina before we end this.
You'll do no such thing. And don't speak about me as if I'm not here. There's no time for heroic nonsense.
Heroic nonsense saved your grandson and is rescuing you now. I won't let Ilario do more damage.
Go! I'll meet you in the Opera House.
I hope she can keep herself safe.
Welcome to House de la Morte, Rook.
Congratulations, your princess is not in another castle. I mean, she is now because you saved her and she left, but...
Lucanis.
I'm working on it. The traitor deserves no mercy. This is it. Get ready.
You have a plan now, right?
Knives are involved.
So basically, we're just going to charge in without really thinking this through and just stab everyone. Got it.
Katerina's death was a tragedy. But to get Lucanis back from the dead, only to lose him to a demon. For me, it is a deep, personal loss. And so, I take the mantle of First Talon with a heavy heart. But the crows could rise from the ashes. With our new allies, the Venatori, we can reclaim Antiva.
Over my dead body.
That can be arranged. Venatori. To me, honor your alliance. Now, the demon of Byzantium is here. You should have stayed dead, Lucanis. All of this is on your head.
You started this. I'm ending
Take that, shit for brains. That's not over. Give it 5 seconds.
What are you waiting for, cousin? Finish what you start. I already did. What am I ever going to do that is worse than this? On your knees, in front of every house.
Get up, Ilario.
Caterina, fake the make it.
No one from House de la Morte kneels.
Mierda. What am I supposed to do with this idiot?
He tried to kill you and got you imprisoned, and kidnapped the first Talon, and made a deal with the Venatori.
Too much to forgive. But he's still all I've got. Viago, lock him up.
You think you can put me away? That is not your decision, is it? Caterina is still first Talon.
Enough, Ilario. Lucanes is first Talon now. His decision stands.
You're lucky he didn't cut your throat.
Welcome home, my boy.
A toast to the new first Talon.
To Lucanis!
Nice. Very nice.
Shall we make a discreet exit?
Yeah, time for an Irish goodbye. I believe that's the term.
I'm ready. But are you sure? They're celebrating you.
I have other plans for the evening.
Drinking coffee.
Really? You came all the way back here for coffee? The stuff in your villa wasn't good enough?
It's better if I make it myself. And I
That's
wanted
fair.
some quiet.
So, first Talon of the Crows, huh? Does that mean you'll be leaving us?
No. We have a contract. Besides, she may have stepped down, but there's no stopping Katerina from giving all the orders. I still cannot believe she did that.
Are you holding up okay? After, you know, Ilario and your grandmother and everything?
I wouldn't call it okay, exactly. Fucking Ilario.
Do you regret putting him in prison?
No, not with Treviso in such chaos. The last thing I need is my full cousin causing more. Let Ilario sit and think on his mistakes. It may do him good.
I was surprised you spared him at all, really.
So was I. But I don't have a lot to lose. What there is, Ilario, Katerina, Nev. This team. I'm not giving that up.
Right, I think it... So yeah, he's got... No, I think he's got... That was the end of his quest line, so... He might have access to, like, his personal ability. And, yeah, I think... Since I'm not romancing Nev, him saying, I don't want to give up Nev is the implication that they have started something on the side. Because I did forget those two can end up together. Still don't have a trinket for Lucanus. That's interesting. You know, I've said it before in past playthroughs, just, I kind of get why the Kunari are underrepresented in your companions because they are kind of isolationist, but why are there so few dwarf companions in Dragon Age? Because there's Ogren in the first game, Varric in the next two, and then Harding in this one. And Harding's the only romanceable one of the three. And then again, I suppose that's better than the Krogan in Mass Effect. You can't romance any Krogan in that game. Those games.
Someone named Traylon, a little bit younger than you. Dark hair, big for an elf.
Oh, I know him. Knew him. I mean, when we were kids.
A romantic picnic, huh? This is a surprise.
Evka and Antoine's doing. They told me after all the wardens have been through, and what's ahead, I should take a break.
I'm surprised you actually listened.
You know how sad Antoine can look?
So, what did you pack for the picnic?
Emmerich helped me brew a ginger wort truffle tea. I thought we'd see what all the fuss is about.
I'm happy you're getting a chance to unwind, Davrin.
I was thinking the same about you.
Me?
You take on a lot, Rook. If I can take your mind off it for an afternoon, I'll be a happy man. That's not bad.
It's gingery, but also garlic. Hints of mushroom, something else. Well, I've never eaten a worm, but well, yeah, it is a little earthy. Wait, what? There! Davrin!
What?
Hassan just talked to me.
What did he say?
No, not that. What you said before.
Emmerich said Ginger Ward might have some kind of magical properties.
More than might.
Maybe it affects some people more than others. You all right, Rook?
Oh, I think that whatever this is will pass.
And I thought this would be a break.
It's the company that's important. I always relax better with you around.
I feel the same way.
Then it's a strange picnic, but a good date.
That's interesting. That's cute.
Rook, up for a quick trip? I figured it'd be good to check in with Evka. See how the Wardens are doing without us.
Abundance.
Yeah, not surprising. But I definitely do find it interesting that the shadow dragons are so low. Yeah, the veil jumpers are maxed out. Yeah, I'm just... The only one I really am concerned about is the... What's it called? Is the crows. I'm not as concerned about the black dragons. I'm sure we'll get them up eventually once we do some more, but still. Sorry, we'll absolutely...
Is Martin staying here?
In Lavendale? You're keeping busy. All set?
You know what? Let's actually start the conversation. No, damn it.
Evka, any word out of the deep roads?
Not yet. We're kicking at rocks looking for Isaiah. Anyone who knows anything about...
Griffins? Aerials of the Grey Wardens? They went extinct during the Exalted Age.
Hassan says hello.
That sounded more like he's hungry.
It's all the same to him.
Been trying to teach him new words, and feed me as his favorite.
Can I ride him?
Let's give him a few years to grow. How's his training, Davrin?
Better than I hoped. We're starting to see eye to eye. Hoping it'll make it easier with his brothers and sisters when we find them.
There's more?
A whole family?
Can't wait to have them with us. After Weishaupt, the Wardens need hope. Something real, something pure. Having the Griffins at our side would be like old friends coming home.
They weren't always treated like friends.
I know. What Isaiah did won't be forgotten.
What happened?
Let's just say the wardens didn't always take good care of them.
A mistake will never repeat. Asan and the others will be treated like respected warriors. We'll rebuild together.
It's gonna take a lot of bribery. Better stock up on their snacks.
I can feed them.
We might just take you up on that.
And my dad can forge griffin armor.
Hear that, Asan? You'll always have a home with us. Let me know how it goes finding the rest of the flock, or pride, or...
How about Feather Brigade? We'll stay in touch.
Okay, cool. This was just a short conversation, not a whole side quest sort of thingy.
Why don't you go down to the village later? See what you can...
Yeah, I mean, personally, I'm more inclined to say flock for griffins, but that's just because they're airborne or whatever. But yeah, pride might fit better, all things considered.
Our scouts reported back. They said...
Bits and bobs for just the right price.
Yeah, problem with any new swords I might be able to get my hands on. I just don't see the point of, since the current sword I have, is crucial for my, just my build with the necrotic damage and such.
Send your friends my way. Tell them Amelia will set them up right.
Okay. I am going to need to end this here, because we're getting close to my cutoff time, and I need to go wake Abby up and give her some time to ungroggy herself. Edgelord stream tomorrow morning. We'll be continuing Pokemon. I think that's our only major announcement. Oh, yeah, but I'm not sure when, but I'll see you guys then. Have a good rest of your day. Bye-bye.